Hey, babe. Yeah, just filming a video. Yeah? California carne asada? Yeah, can you get me both sauces too? All right. Thanks, babe. Love you. Bye. What's up, everybody? My name's Ryan, the Pool Pro, and today I want to talk to you about Pool Pro tip number 1. I know sometimes when we get out there, whether you're a service technician, you own your own business, you're a contractor, whatever the case may be, we sometimes, a lot of times, get frustrated out there with these pools. And this video is just a tip to help you guys kind of understand why we are doing this and try to bring you back to that. I want to share with you my experience and what I feel inside and what I look back on and stuff that helps me put me in check and remember why I do this. Of course, I'm trying to provide for my family. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to grow the business, whatnot. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what I think about when it comes to swimming in a pool, not necessarily cleaning a pool. So my first remembrance of pools, the first time I remember something about pools was my Pap-Ap. My grandfather, we call him my Pap-Ap. So my Pap-Ap had a pool, and back in those days, not everybody had pools in their backyards like they do today. Back in the day, my Pap-Ap was the only one that had a pool. So the whole family would get together quite often to go over to my Pap-Ap's house and use the pool. Back in this day, they had the pressure side cleaner, but not the Polaris car that ran around. It was the, it had like these whips on the sides of the pool where the pressure would cause these whips to clean the sides of the pool and all that. I don't know why they don't have that anymore. That was pretty cool. We're never allowed to touch them. We weren't allowed to play with them, but every once in a while, my brother and I or my cousins or whatnot, we'd pull one out and spray each other with it and hope Pap-Ap didn't see. But that was one of the first memories that I have of pools. My grandma would make her homemade iced tea. She'd put in these little orange and purple cups, and we'd put 15 packets of sugar in there and, you know, drink that and jump in the pool. Then we would eat, and our moms would tell us that we're not allowed to get in the pool until 15 minutes after we're done eating, or we'd sink to the bottom. We all have that crazy uncle that said that if you peed in the pool, that there was a dye in the pool or a chemical in the pool that would disperse, and everybody knew you were peeing in a pool. And to this day, I'm still trying to figure out what chemical that is. So if any of you pool guys out there know which one that is, please let me know. Fast forward, we got our very first pool. It was an above ground pool, but it was super fun. I remember my mom on the real hot summer days would go up to the Circle K or the gas station and buy those real big blocks of ice and throw those in, and we'd play with them, and it'd be fun and cool for about 5 minutes, and then they were just, the water was warm again. And then at that time we were doing the whirlpool, so all the kids would swim in the same direction and get the water current going, and then we'd stop and try to fight the current, and that was fun and all that stuff. And then a little bit later on, we got our very first in-ground pool, and in the springtime, my mom would take us to the pool store, and I know you guys know that smell that the second you walk in, it's the smell of that plastic and that chlorine, and it was a great smell, and it just reminds me of how fun it was back in the day. So fast forward now I'm working, I have a pool business, and this doesn't just go to pool business owners, this goes to anybody in the pool service industry. Now I'm working on these pools, and it's important to remember why we are doing this. So these kids, the customers that the kids of the customers and the customers that are using these pools are looking to use these pools to enjoy time with their friends and family, or just their significant other, or maybe just their dog, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes as a pool service professional, I lose track of that. I get frustrated at the pool. I get frustrated at the customer, or whatever the case may be. So sometimes as a service professional, I lose sight of that. I lose sight of the fact that these customers are using their pools to spend time with their family, to have some enjoyable time with the kids, to throw the ball for the dogs. Sometimes I lose focus of that. I lose sight of that when I'm working on a pool and I need to hurry up and the repair's not going the way I want, or I walk into the backyard and the pool's trashed with leaves and I know that I'm going to be spending a little extra time there. So it's important to gather yourself and come back to these moments and know that these customers are enjoying this pool, and that is a large responsibility on you and myself and my guys, everybody in the pool service industry, that this is our responsibility to make sure that these happy memories continue on with our customers' family. It's not just our jobs to service the pool, to skim, splash, dash, whatever you want to call it. It's not just our job to service the pool and move on to the next one. It's very important that we become proactive in this industry. We need to make sure that we're testing the right chemicals and that we're checking that equipment, because we've all had the customer that calls us on Friday, or the boss that calls us on Friday, that one customer is frustrated that the pool's turning green, they're having a party tomorrow morning, and that we need to get back there and fix that, when all of that could have been prevented when that leak started or whatnot, and notifying the proper people, whether it be straight to the customer or a manager or a boss or whatever the case may be. So it's important to be proactive in this industry. Now, things are gonna fall through the cracks, stuff's gonna happen, somebody's gonna get frustrated, a pool's gonna turn green. But I strongly believe that if you use this thought process to be proactive, to make sure that these customers' pools are ready at any given time, and if they need repairs, that they're being informed of these repairs, that we always be proactive. Looking back and thinking about these pool memories that I have of my grandfather or my mom and the pool that we had, I don't remember the pool turning green. I don't remember my pap yelling at the pool guy. I don't remember them complaining that it costs so much electricity to keep this pool going. All I remember is the fun stuff that we used to do and the family that used to gather around the pool, and the fun times that we used to have. And it's important to keep that in mind when you're servicing these customers' pools. Like I said, whether you're a service technician working for a company, if you're a contracted worker, or if you run your own business, if you run a business with a lot of pools, or if you run, your own little route, it's important to remember that your customers are using these pools to build memories with their friends, with their families, and it's our job to make sure that that goes as smooth as possible. I know some customers know a lot about pools, and I know some customers don't know anything about pools. It's our job as professionals to make sure that we communicate these issues with the customers so that we get these repairs done and the pool doesn't have issues. Now, I understand if you do notify the customer doesn't want to do the repair or doesn't think it's necessary, and then the pool turned green or whatever the case may be, but at least you took the proper step in being proactive and letting the customer know that, hey, we're gonna have an issue, instead of saying, yeah, we have an issue and the issue already happened. So be proactive with your work. Don't just splash and dash. Make sure you know what you are looking at and what you need to look for to make sure that these pools are in check and ready for these customers. It's something that I preach here at Pool Rescuers quite often, is being proactive. You know that these pools have their own personalities, and when you're in the backyard enough and when you're around these pools enough, you know when this pool is gonna have issues. So instead of trying to rush out of that pool to get to the next pool, take that second, look to see why you're dropping chlorine, look to see why your flow isn't where it needs to be, look to see why that pressure is, and then notify the customer if something needs to be taken care of. So you are being a proactive professional. Whether you realize it or not, our job is not just to clean a pool, it's to make sure that the pool is healthy and happy and ready for these customers to use. We think about pools all the time. All the time we're thinking about pools. We're thinking about pools when we're at the pool, before we're at the pool. We're thinking about pools at dinner time when that storm starts rolling in and the trees start bending sideways. We're thinking about pools all the time. The customers are not thinking about pools all the time. They're thinking about their families and the bills that they need to pay, or the car that just broke down, or whatever the case may be, or the kid has something at school that day. They're not thinking about the pool. So you know what's gonna happen with this pool. You have have a good understanding of when this pool is going to turn or when we're going to have an issue with this pool. So it's your job to be proactive, to notify the customer of what needs to be done and push for that to be done. Now, if they don't want to do it, that's on them, but you need to understand that they're not just hiring you to clean a pool, they're hiring you to manage a pool. If these customers have entrusted you to take care of the pool, or if your boss hired you to take care of these pools, or whatever the case is, for whatever reason you're in the backyard, it's your responsibility to make sure that this pool is functioning the way that it should be. Stop being in a hurry, know what to look for, and let's be proactive with these pools. Communicate this to your customers when issues do arise and see if you can get that repair done, or at least just make sure you notify the customer that there's an issue going on so they can choose to fix it, or they could have their uncle or their aunt or their next door neighbor come over and fix it and just continue servicing the pool. So I encourage you to look back to some of your first memories when it comes to pools and what your memories were. I hope they were good ones. If they weren't, I'm sorry. I strongly believe that your customers can have a good experience if you provide the information needed. So that's it, guys. That's pro pool tip number 1. I know that one kind of hits pretty deep, and sorry to come at you guys like that one, but I really think that that one's an important one to make mention of. We're going to be doing a lot more of these videos, just showing you some tips and some tricks and stuff that we use around work, and some of the things that we have in our trucks, and some of the things we do out in the field that make our life easier and can hopefully trickle over to you and help you out there as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe, throw a comment down below, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, all that stuff. I'm always here to talk pool shop. I love it. This is what I'm about. So till the next time, just keep skimming.